Hello friends, welcome to Lokan IS. Now we are going to discuss test number 3, that is polity test. Indian Constitution. So here is the first question. With reference to Parliament's power to acquire foreign territories, consider following statements. Article 2 of the Constitution allows admission of new states that are not part of Union of India. So obviously this is correct. Second, India has never acquired any foreign territory since its independence from Britain in 1947. Is it correct? No, this is not. Because there are so many examples like Goa, Hyderabad, or Dadra Nagar Haveli, which we acquired, okay, from foreign parties. So answer is A. Second, with reference to Indian polity, the term territory of India has wider meaning than Union of India. Union of India means what? States. All the states. It doesn't include Union territory. So why this has larger significance? So first two statements are incorrect. Last one is correct because territory of India also includes Union territories along with states, and the it includes territory that may be acquired in future. So D is the correct answer. Now question number 3 is regarding interstate council, means article 263. So question has asked, what is the composition of interstate council? So see, prime minister, chief ministers of all states of the states, all chief ministers of states, UTs, administrator are the part. But last one is incorrect because not all ministers but 6 cabinet ministers. So remove the last option. So you are left with 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the correct answer. Now fourth one regarding zonal council. It is a statutory body established by an act of parliament, correct? They aim at promoting cooperation and coordination between states UTs. This is also correct. Answer is C, both 1 and 2. In which scenarios central government can issue directives? Okay, so is it based on your general sense? So what you can say? Protection of railways, matters related to construction and maintenance of communication, execution of specified schemes. So all are correct. 1, 2 and 3 are a correct answer. Because in all of these options, certain property central government is involved. So obviously central government can give direction. Sixth one, regarding the taxation in India, assess the following statements. Constitution delineates taxation powers between center and states. Okay, so this is correct answer because center has power to legislate upon, to impose tax on items mentioned in union list, and state in state list. Okay, so first one is correct. And parliament and state legislatures possess concurrent authority to legislate on goods and service tax. This is also correct. Actually in constitution there is no tax entry in concurrent list, but 201st amendment special provision is made regarding GST. So both center and state can legislate upon GST. And third one is, any gift in the form of cash or property is taxable for the recipient if it exceeds 50,000 rupees in a financial year. This is correct statement. So answer is all of the above correct. 7. Indian Independence Act 1947. It didn't grant freedom to Indian princely states to remain independent. Is it correct? No, because we know lots of princely states chose to be independent. Then later we included them in the Union of India, but some of them affirm that they will remain independent. So this is incorrect. Designated Governor General of India and Provincial Governor as constitutional heads of state. This is correct statement. Third, the act empowered Constituent Assembly to abrogate or alter any law made by British Parliament. This is also correct. So how many statements are correct? Only 2 statements. Okay, in the context of inter-state relation, which of the following are the major recommendations of Punchi Commission? First, interstate council should be abolished. No, this wasn't commission. This wasn't recommendation, but should be reform. Governor should be selected as per strict guidelines of Sarkari Commission. This is correct statement. Third, it called for the creation of new all India services in health and education. This is also correct. Okay, who has the power to legislate upon all India services? Rajya Sabha. Means initiation from Rajya Sabha is required. Rajya Sabha has special power in regard with all India services. So answer 2 and 3. Okay, in the context of terms mentioned in the preamble of the Indian Constitution, assess the following statements. Referring to a polity founded on principle of popular sovereignty, where people hold genuine power, is known as democracy. Obviously, is correct as the definition of democracy. Second, designating a polity in which the state is led by an elected is republic. Okay, who is our head? President. He is elected, so we can be called as republic. So take example of UK. Is the queen elected, king elected? No, this is monarchy. This is both 1 and 2. Question number 10. Okay, how many of the above statements are correct regarding Indian Constitution? Okay, separate constitutional framework for both center and state. Is it? No, incorrect. Long history of constitutional legislation. Yes, it is correct, because we heard about various legislation like Government of India Act 1935. Okay, and various previous acts. So we have this long history. Inclusion of administrative details, correct. Huge diversity, correct. Attempt to reduce scope and requirement of amendments. No, this is not correct. So how many statements are correct? 3. So 3 statements is the correct answer. Question number 11 is regarding 5th schedule of the Constitution. So what happens in 5th schedule is applied to a certain area. So remember, this is regarding tribal areas apart from northeastern states, because there we have 6th schedule. So answer is A. This would prevent transfer of land from tribal people to non-tribal people. Okay, because we learn in history many saukars, etc., and rich people went to this tribal area and acquired land. So to protect these tribal peoples, we have this provision. Okay, you can relate with the Asuran movie of Dhanush. There you can see this. Question number 12. DPSPs under Part 4 of the Constitution ensures that citizens are not forced by economic necessity to enter into occupation. This is correct. Now second, the employment of children below the age of 14 years is allowed in selected occupations, but only after ensuring proper education and health. This is partially correct, but not below the age of 14, but within the 14 to 18. So this is wrong. So which is the wrong statement? So only second statement is wrong. So answer is B. It is 2 only. Now consider the following statements regarding preamble of the Constitution. The term secular was there in preamble originally. No, because term secular added through 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. So this is wrong. The preamble contains some of the elements of basic structure of the Constitution. Yes, it is correct. Because preamble mentions that India is secular, democratic. So these are basic features of our Constitution. So this is correct. Preamble is not enforceable by itself. This is correct. So itself it is not enforceable, and this fact was asked in 2020 UPSC prelim. Preamble isn't part of Constitution. This is wrong because in Keswananda Bharti case, it has been established that Parliament is a part of Constitution. So how many statements are correct? So statement number 2 and 3. So only 2. Question number 14. Consider the following statement regarding provisions related to religious freedom. Okay, religious freedom can be limited in case of threat to public order. So obviously this is correct. If there is a threat to public order, then this can be curtailed. A religious denomination is defined by any group with common spiritual belief. This is partially correct. So not completely incorrect, because not merely common spiritual belief. There are some other conditions also which needs to be fulfilled in order to be called as religious denomination. Okay, like it should be a collection of individuals with common belief. It should have a common organizational structure, and it should have distinct name. So these things must be followed. And the right to establish institution for charitably. This is correct. So second correct, incorrect, first, third correct. So only 2. 10th schedule is the what? Anti-defection law. This was added during Prime Ministership of Rajiv Gandhi. Not Prime Minister, but it should be Prime Ministership. Okay, so this was added in 1985 through 52nd Constitutional Amendment. Question number 16. Parliament can indemnify any person for the act done in areas where martial law is in force. This is correct statement. Then the martial law, declaration of martial law results in suspension of writs. This is incorrect. This is cleared by Supreme Court that writs don't get suspended. Mere declaration of martial law, but army can restrict the movement of people. Okay, restriction, regulation on civilians, and even can punish them for any offenses. Martial law not defined anywhere in the Constitution. This is also correct. Okay, it is not defined. So answer is 1 and 3. Now question number 17. Important only question. In how many states mentioned above 5th schedule provisions is applicable? So remember, whenever there will be question on 5th schedule, so keep in mind that none of the northeastern state is there. Okay, because in northeastern state we have 6th schedule and inner line permit. Okay, so remember this. So among the given option, in Maharashtra Madhya Pradesh, and Odisha. In all of these three states, fifth schedule is applicable. So answer is C. Only 3 is the correct answer. Here are the remaining states: Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Jharkhand, Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh. So C is the correct answer. 18. Which of the following are the reasonable reasons for the inclusion of emergency provisions in Indian Constitution? To safeguard sovereignty, unity, integrity? Yes, obviously, it is correct. Okay, if in some extraordinary situation, unity, integrity is in danger. So to protect that unity, we need emergency power. Okay, to waste wide powers to the center, so handle special situations. Yes, correct. Second, to prevent maladministration and corruption. No, this is not the purpose. Okay, so how many statements are correct? Only 2. That is B is the answer. Question number 19, conceptual question, very important. This was asked in 2021 prelim. Okay, what was the exact constitutional status of India on 26 January 1950? Democratic Republic, Sovereign Democratic Republic, Sovereign Secular Democratic Republic, Socialist. So see, secular was added in 42nd constitutional amendment. Similarly, socialist also here in 1976. So this is not answer. Democratic Republic, okay, but not the exact. Sovereign Democratic Republic, this is the exact answer. Okay, so B is the correct answer. Question number 20, regarding reasonable restrictions. Okay, how many statements are incorrect? The Constitution doesn't explicitly provide what all comprise as the reasonable restriction. This is incorrect because Constitution provides reasonable restrictions. Okay, public order, for example, public order, morality. Okay, friendly relations with neighboring states. Okay, you can refer the recent example of Mr. Sanjay Raut. When he criticized on Israel, he received notice from Lok Sabha. The reasonableness of legislation determined based on only substantive provisions and not procedural provisions. No, this is incorrect because this is also determined based on procedures also. Reasonableness of restriction has to be determined in an objective manner from point of view of person. No, not from point of view of person, but from point of view of general public. And the state can make law in relation to protection of interests of any scheduled tribes with respect to freedom of residence. This is correct because you can see this in Andaman and Nicobar and northeastern states. So how many statements are incorrect? 3 statements incorrect. So C is the correct answer. Question number 21. Okay, match the following pairs. 52nd constitutional amendment is regarding anti-defection law, just we discussed, so this is correct. 73rd constitutional amendment, urban local governance, is it correct? This is incorrect because this is rural local governance. And third, 86th constitutional amendment, right to education, this is correct. This is article 21A. So answer is 1 and 3. Regarding Indian Council Act 1909, also known as Morley-Minto Act. So it introduced separate electorates for Muslims. This was the key provision, correct. Under the act, income qualification for Muslims was kept lower than that of Hindus. So this is correct statement. Third, under the act, the system of election was made direct for first time. So this is not correct. Sorry, this is not correct because this happened in Government of India Act 1919. So first two statements are correct, not third one. 23rd, parliamentary system of government. Okay, very standard question. Okay, in past 10 years, UPSC has asked this 3 to 4 times in various forms. So what is parliamentary system? The government is accountable to parliament and subject to removal by it. So in case of India, government is accountable to Lok Sabha and can be removed through no confidence motion. Okay, so understand this properly. Okay, in context of preamble of the constitution, consider following statements. Okay, this also we have discussed earlier. So it is a part of Indian constitution. So correct, because Kesavanand Bharti case clearly stated that ruled that is a part of constitution. It is non-justiciable in nature. So obviously correct. It is source of power. Is it a source of power? No, this is not a source of power. Sir, is only two statements are correct. Okay, because preamble is not such an instrument which gives power. Okay, we the people. Constitution derives its authority from people. Question number 25. The Constitution of India defines its basic structure in terms of federalism, secularism, fundamental rights and democracy. Again, this is partially correct. Why partially correct? Because Constitution of India doesn't define it. It was decided in 1973 in Kesavananda Bharti case. Okay, this is judicial invention. So this is incorrect. In second statement, Constitution of India provides for judicial review to safeguard citizens' liberties and to preserve ideals on which Constitution is based. This is obviously correct because this is nothing but Article 13 of our Constitution, which provides judicial review. Okay, means not exactly this content is there in Article 13, but this is a related one regarding judicial review. Okay, apart from this, what are another related article? Article 32 and 226. Okay, where judicial review is there, not explicitly mentioned, but it is there. So what is the answer? 2. Okay, under which of the following conditions citizenship of India can be lost? When a person obtained by fraud, obviously. When a citizen of India voluntarily acquires citizenship of another country, this is also correct. When the citizen has shown disloyalty to Constitution of India, this is also correct. And fourth, citizen has been imprisoned in any country for less than 1 year within 5 years. Is this correct? So no, this statement has been tweaked. Okay, so this is more than 2 years. So answer is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, question number 27. Very simple question. Okay, deliberately it has been added. So article 368 is regarding constitution amendment of constitution. Question number 28. The constitutional validity of first amendment act was challenged in Golaknath case. Is it a Golaknath case? No, this was challenged in Shankari Prasad case. Okay, these cases are very important from your mains perspective also. So study them carefully. Then second statement, Indira Gandhi case, court declared that no court has jurisdiction over the election disputes of prime minister. So this is incorrect. Okay, because court disqualified Mrs. Indira Gandhi. So this is not correct. Golaknath case brought the Constitutional Amendment Acts under Article 13. So this is correct. So what is the answer? Only 3 is correct. Okay, so this is a test discussion video. So I cannot explain each and everything to you. But I will ask you to go through this statement and understand the difference between law and act. Okay, what was the argument given by government to court? Again, regarding amendment procedure, prior recommendation of president is mandatory for introducing the amendment. Is it? No. No amendment, no president's recommendation is required. Where is it required? Required in case of money bill. Okay, remember this. Then states don't have any role in amendment. Say any role. Is it? No. Because whenever there is a constitution which affects the federal character of state, that is the Indian state, then after the passage of the Constitutional Amendment Act, more than 50% of the state legislatures should pass a resolution in support of it. Okay, best example is NJSC, okay, National Judicial Appointment Commission. So answer is D. That is neither 1 nor 2. Question number 30. The term federation has nowhere been used in Constitution of India. Obviously correct. What do we use? Union of States. Indian Federation is result of an agreement. Is it? No. Indian Federation is not a result of agreement. So remember. So answer is only 1. With reference to basic structure, consider following. It has been codified under single law. No. It will be decided on case by case basis. Parliament cannot take away fundamental rights that form basic part. Correct. So B is the correct answer. Okay, then bit conceptual question. Question number 32. Okay, which of the following the makers of Indian Constitution preferred the phrase Union of States over Federation of States? Which of the following is rationale behind it? So what is the rationale behind it? Parliament has authority over concurrently. This is a vague statement, so nothing you can concretely say. And second, Union of India is indestructible in nature. This is the crux. And state do not have right to cede. So this was the rationale behind it. Okay, and now just go through third and fourth statement. India was formed as a result of agreement. Incorrect. Just we saw. Such not the case. There is integrated judicial and election commission. No, this is also not rational. So P is the correct answer. Question number 33 regarding EWS reservation. Yes, so while passing the EWS reservation bill, which of the following articles were amended? So answer is Article 15 and 16. So under the backwardness criteria, we have social and educational, and we added economic criteria under 15 and 16. Article 20 is regarding right to education. Okay, and 46 is regarding state shall promote special care regarding educational and economic interest of weaker section. So this is regarding article 46. This is not amended. So main article that were amended 1 and 2, that is 15 and 16. So 1 and 2 is the correct answer. Okay, question number 34. Directive principles of state policy provides for separation of legislative and executive organs of the government. Okay, see, not provides, but states shall take steps. Okay, state shall, it mentioned that state shall take steps to take such action. Okay, this is just indicative. Then second statement, the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 separated judiciary from executive. This is correct. So answer is B only. Okay, understand why statement 1 is wrong. Okay, DPSP encourage ask state to follow this, not provide this directly. Okay, then question number 35. Okay, so read this question carefully. Applicant belonging to BPL category are not required to pay any fee. So this is correct. And information sought regarding life or liberty should be supplied within 48 hours. This is also correct statement. Now question number statement number 3. Central Information Commission is the first appellate authority if an applicant is not supplied information within the prescribed time. Okay, so this is incorrect. So if information is not prescribed within time, then you can approach to public information officer, not directly to Central Information Commission. Okay, so only 2 statements are correct. So answer is B for Bombay. Question number 36, simple question, equality before law. Okay, which of the following correctly explains the concept? So all of the 3, no person is above law, equal subjection of all ordinary laws, and absence of any special privilege. So all of these are components. So answer is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, then again, parliamentary government of India. Okay, so UPSC asks question frequently in various ways on parliamentary system. So prepare it properly. Okay, now let's go statement by statement. Okay, the ministers are collectively responsible to parliament, in general to Lok Sabha. Correct. All members of councils of minister belong to same political party. Incorrect. Okay, is it the case? No, not necessary belong to same political party. Take example of Shiv Sena, BJP and NCP. Do they belong to same political party, all ministers? No. The ministers are members of both legislature and executive. Yes, correct. And if the minister is not member of legislature, within 6 months he has to become member of legislature. There is strict separation. No. Okay, both statements are contradictory. In statement 3, we are saying they are both members of legislature and executive. In statement 4, we are saying there is strict separation. This is incorrect. So answer is only 2 statements are correct. Now question number 38. Okay, federal with unitary bias. Which of the following feature reflects unitary bias? So first, written nature. Does it reflect unitary bias? No, doesn't reflect. Single citizenship, yes. Integrated audit, yes. Emergency, yes, because only central government has power of emergency, not state. So answer is 2, 3 and 4. Question number 39. Okay, which of the following statements are incorrect? So under Article 352, President can declare national emergency. So correct. Article 365 empowers President to issue proclamation if he is satisfied a situation arisen in which government of state cannot be carried. Okay, so this is nothing but President rule. This is Article 356, not 365. A proclamation imposing President's rule must be approved by both houses of Parliament within 2 months from the date of issue. This is correct. So how many statements are incorrect? This is the question. So only one. Question number 40. Right to forgotten falls under the purview of an individual's right to privacy. Yes, this is correct. Right to privacy is a fundamental right. This is also correct because Puttaswamy judgment. Okay, and this is also asked in 2017 UPSC prelim. Under the right to be forgotten, users can delete their personal information held by data fiduciaries. This is also correct. So answer is all the 1, 2, 3 are correct. Question number 41. Okay, the idea of justice, social, economic and political is taken from Russian Revolution. So this is correct statement. Okay, because we know that Russia is a communist, socialist, welfaristic state during then. So this is correct. Then second, India's membership to Commonwealth and accepting British Crown as the head of Commonwealth undermines the Indian concept of sovereignty defined in preamble. This is incorrect because it doesn't violate our concept of sovereignty. Despite being member of Commonwealth, still India can pursue independent policies. So this statement is incorrect. And the third statement, the preamble is not source of power to legislature. This is absolutely correct. Okay, in previous questions also we have seen this aspect that preamble is not the source of power. Okay, it just we can say it's summary of a constitution. Not in literal sense summary, but the basic, that's soul of constitution. What are the basic features? Those are mentioned in the preamble. So answer is C. That is only 2 statements. 42nd question, a easy one. Okay, which are the following are the rights mentioned in Article 21. So whenever generally you will face question regarding Article 21, be as liberal, be as broad as possible. Okay, so here all the given options are there under Article 42. So answer is D. And apart from this, lots of other articles are there also, like right to privacy, right to shelter, okay, which are there in Article 21, right to travel abroad. Question number 43. Which of the following, how many given statements are incorrect? So we need to find incorrect statement. First statement, for the first time the introduction of responsible government through Government of India Act 1858. So this is incorrect because this was done through Government of India Act 1919. Responsible government was there, and it abolished the board of control and court of directors. So this is correct. Okay, it created new offices, that is Secretary of State, who is a part of British cabinet. Remember this also. So this is also correct statement. And it empowered viceroy to issue ordinances without concurrence of legislative council during an emergency. This is not a provision of 1858 Act. This is provision of Indian Council Act 1861. So how many of the given statements are incorrect? So here 1 and 2. So answer is only 2. And 44th, okay, functions performed by Constituent Assembly of India. Okay, favorite theme of UPSC. Appointment of major and minor committees to carry out the task of constitution making. Absolutely correct. Ratification of India's membership to the Commonwealth. Yes, correct. It acted as first parliament based on universal adult franchise. Is it correct? This statement is partially correct, but not completely. Why? Yes, it acted as parliament, but is it on universal adult franchise? No. Okay, members of constituent assembly were indirectly elected through provincial legislature, single transferable voting. So this is incorrect. And 4th one, adoption of national songs. This is correct. So answer is C, that is 1, 2 and 4. 45th question, committees and their chairmen are asked. Okay, so first one, advisory committee on fundamental rights, Jawaharlal Nehru. Wrong. This was headed by J.B. Kripalani. This question is tough because generally we don't remember such minute committees and their chairmen, but it's a tough question. And drafting committee, this one is easy. Was it headed by Sardar Patel? No. Drafting committee was headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, and rules and procedure committee, yes, it was headed by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So what is the answer? How many pairs correctly match? Only 1. Okay, now question number 46. Which of the following provisions came in force on November 16, 1949 itself? So November 26, 1949, 395 articles, 8 schedules, certain provisions related to citizenship and other things came into force. So first 2 options are correct. But provisions related to fundamental rights and DPSP came on 26 January 1950. Okay, so answer is A, that is 1 and 2. Coming to question number 47. Okay, so there is no provision of concurrent power upon parliament and state legislature to make laws on governing anytime. This statement is wrong because through 101st Constitutional Amendment Act we amended this, and now GST. Both state and central government has power to legislate upon these matters. Okay, within their respective jurisdiction. The residuary power lies with parliament only. This is correct. So B is the correct. More upon GST we will study in economic test. Okay, so don't worry. So here answer is B. Then question number 48. Okay, imposition of financial emergency. Read carefully. Okay, not national emergency. It can be imposed if there is financial instability even in only part of India. This is correct statement. Okay, repeated parliamentary approval is not required for continuation of financial emergency. This is also correct. Once it is approved, then it no further approval of parliament is needed. Okay, it continues till it revoked. India has never declared financial emergency. This is also correct. So answer is 1, 2 and 3. Then question number 49. Which of the following actions of the parliament doesn't require an amendment of the constitution. So creation of legislative council, yes, it does require. Increasing in allowance, it also required through simple majority. Settlement of boundary dispute, no, this doesn't require amendment, constitutional amendment, because in 1969 Supreme Court through its judgment clearly stated that settlement of boundary dispute can be done through executive action. Okay, mere executive action is sufficient to settle boundary dispute, so this is incorrect. And cession of Indian territory foreign, so yes, this requires constitutional amendment. Okay, so answer is C, 14. Question number 49, C is the correct answer. Now coming to question number 50, national emergency. The president can issue a proclamation of national emergency even if some other proclamation is already in operation. This is correct. Okay, such provision is there. Now, second statement, president can proclaim an emergency on the advice of prime minister, but has to take approval of council of ministers later on. Okay, so this is incorrect, because on first stand itself, president has to act on cabinet advice. Okay, written recommendation from president. Okay, this was added through 44th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, because the internation saw the bad effects and the concentration of power during the emergency time, and country also saw how it was enforced, so they thought that there should be a stricter mechanism. So cabinet approval is necessary. So second statement is incorrect. Question number 51. Okay, which of the following constitutional amendments are passed by special majority? Okay, special majority of the parliament and also with the consent of half of state legislature, means what? Special majority plus ratification by half of states. Okay, so solve this question logically. You know that GST involve a federal issue. Okay, because there was taxation, and you might have read through newspaper how tedious was the process, and ratification by half of the states or more than half of states was done during GST. So 3 must be there in your option. So obviously all option contains 3 as an option, so no point of elimination. A representation of parliament. See, you must know elections to parliament and state legislature. This can be amended through simple majority. Okay, representation of states in parliament, this includes a significant federal issue. Okay, so states opinion must be taken into consideration, and also such a significant issue will always be passed through special majority. So 1 must be there and second shouldn't be there, so eliminate second one. So answer is B, 1, 3, 4. Okay, so simply go through a chart given in Lakshmikant, which kind of majority is required for amendment. Okay, go through that. Question number 52. Okay, consider the following statements about national emergency. When a proclamation of national emergency is made, the fundamental rights under Article 19 of the Constitution automatically suspended. Yes, this is correct. Okay, fundamental rights are suspended. The enforcement of right to life and liberty cannot be suspended during national emergency. Okay, so this is correct, because Only article 19 can be suspended, 19 and some other article, but right to life cannot be. So B is the correct answer. Now very important question, match the following. Okay, 101st amendment we all know regarding GST, and 102nd amendment regarding constitutional status to backward commission, okay, National Commission of Backward Classes. So earlier only we have two, that is National Commission for SC and National Commission for ST having constitutional status, but 102nd constitutional amendment gave the constitutional status to NCBC also. 103rd constitutional amendment is regarding EWS, this is absolutely correct, and 104th is regarding reservation of seats in Lok Sabha to SCs and STs. So this has been postponed, reservation for more than 10 years more. Okay, because original provision was only for 10 years. Then what we are doing, what we do, after every 10 years we pass another constitutional amendment and make this provision for other 10 years more, other than 10 years more. So we make this provision for 10 years more. This is correct, 104th. Okay, so through this we extended the reservation till 2029. Okay, so how many pairs are correct? Only 2. So A is the correct answer. Now question number 54. Okay, again regarding reservation, which among the following are allowed as an exception against prohibition of discrimination under Article 15? So women, children and educational backward classes, not religious linguistic minorities, because for them we have separate provision. Okay, for protecting the linguistic and religious minorities we have separate provision through Article 29 and 30. Okay, we have separate provision, and along with these three criteria we also added economic backwardness in Article 15. Okay, this question also we will face in remaining question, one of the remaining question. Question number 55. Constitution asks state to consider claims of the members of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in making appointment to services. This is correct statement. Okay, whatever option which you feel as a positive one or welfareistic one or liberal one, so generally mark it as a correct. And second, there is a directive for every state as well as local authority to provide for instruction in the mother tongue in primary and secondary stages of education. Okay, this is partially correct because this is only up to primary education. Okay, not up to secondary education is not included. So second one is incorrect. And third statement, there is specific directive in the Indian Constitution to promote the spread of Hindi. Yes, this is absolutely correct. This is as per Article 351. Okay, so second is incorrect, first is correct and third is correct. So what is the answer? Two statements are correct. So answer is B. Question number 56. Consider following statements with respect to fundamental duties. Swaran Singh Committee suggested incorporation of fundamental duties in the Constitution. This is correct. Okay, set up in 1976 by Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Currently there are 11 fundamental duties. Yes, originally there were 10. Then 11th one was added. Okay, to provide education. Okay, to your child 6 to 14 age group. The parliament can enforce fundamental duties by suitable legislation. So this is also correct. So option is C, that is all of the above are correct statement. One important thing, so this was added through 86th constitutional amendment in 2002. So remember this. Okay, now question number 57. Okay, another also, this is also important one. Some of the okay, this is regarding fundamental rights. Some of them are available only to citizens while others are available for foreigners. So this is correct. Okay, because certain rights like article 15, 16, 19, okay, 29, these are not available to foreigners. Then second one is the government can impose reasonable restrictions on any of the fundamental rights. Yes, absolutely correct. On the grounds of public order, okay, health, morality, etc. All the fundamental rights are available against the arbitrary action of the states. Obviously, this is correct. Okay, we have fundamental right against arbitrary action, and parliament can curtail fundamental rights only by constitutional amendment. I guess this is absolutely correct, because this is the feature of the fundamental rights, that this, if we want to change or amend, then we must bring constitutional amendment, because these are not ordinary rights. So all of these statements are correct. So answer is D. Okay, the writ of habeas corpus can be issued against, okay, so obviously public authorities, yes, but individual detention by a competent court, no, we cannot issue against it. Okay, because the writ cannot be issued when detention is lawful. Okay, detention by competent court. Okay, another few provisions are there, so at that time we cannot issue. Individual detention outside the jurisdiction of court, so detention outside the jurisdiction of court, so this is incorrect. So answer is A, that is only one. Incorrect means at this time when individual detention is outside the jurisdiction of court, we cannot issue the writ. So only when issued against public authorities, we cannot issue against option number 2 and 3. Okay, you can find the explanation given in your handbook. Question number 59. Which of the following fundamental rights are available only to citizens of India and not to foreigners? Okay, similar on similar thing. Here is also there. Now here. Okay, so first option is prohibition. Here I forget. 15, 16, 19 and 30 also. Okay, 59. Available to only citizens. Prohibition, that is article 15. Yes, this is exclusively available to Indian national. Protection in respect of conviction of offences. No, this is also available to foreigners. Protection of language, script and culture of minority. This is 29. Okay, this is exclusive to Indian nationals. Freedom of propagation of religion. This is also available to foreigners. So answer is C, that is 1 and 3. Okay, question number 60 regarding rule of law. Incorrect. We have to choose the incorrect. So A, B, and D are correct. Okay, but the primacy of right of individual, this is incorrect. So this is Dicey's concept of rule of law, because according to Dicey's concept, rights are the source. Okay, but in Indian system, constitution is the source. Source of rights. Okay, go through this in your Lakshmikant textbook. Okay, then which of the following are the exceptions to the rule of equality? Okay, so who are the exceptions? Okay, clearly given in your Lakshmikant: governor of states, foreign diplomat, UN agencies. But this is not correct. So answer is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you might have heard regarding the donation issue. Okay, FCRA Act. Okay, just go through it while solving this question. Article 32. Okay, Article 32, just for your added information, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had referred it as soul of the constitution. Okay, heart and soul of the constitution. So only the fundamental rights guaranteed by constitution can be enforced under this article. This is correct, because this is exclusively for Article 32. Then Parliament can empower any court to issue writs of all kinds. This is also correct. Article 32 can be invoked to determine constitutionality of any legislation. So this any makes it incorrect, because Article 32 can be invoked to check the constitutionality of an legislation only when fundamental right is in question. Okay, if the legislation involves a fundamental right, then only we can check the constitutionality. So what is the answer? Answer is only 2. Which of the following statements regarding cultural and educational fundamental rights are correct? The term minority hasn't been defined anywhere in the constitution. So this is correct, because we haven't defined it. It provides right to protect one's language to both minorities as well as citizens. So this is correct. The constitution provides rights to minorities as an individual, not a group. So this is incorrect. Well, the constitution provides right to minority as a group, not as an individual. So what is answer? Answer is 1 and 2. Question number 64. Okay, regarding horizontal reservation. Reservation to SC, STs and OBCs is referred as vertical reservation. Correct. Horizontal reservation refers to equal opportunity provided to women, individuals with disabilities. Here should be within the category. This is correct. What is general horizontal reservation? Suppose provide 7.5% reservation to SC category, and within SC providing reservation like 3% to women, 3.5% to suppose Madiga community. Okay, this issue is in news of horizontal reservation. Then in Karnataka, this Madiga community. Okay, I think not in Karnataka or Chhattisgarh, I don't remember. they are demanding reservation within SC. Okay, so remember this. Okay, suppose see in 27% reservation therefore OBC. In Maharashtra it's 19%. Out of 27%, only 19% to OBC, and the remaining 8% is distributed in SC, VJ, DT, NT, etc. Second is also correct. Then third one, fundamental rights provides only vertical. No, fundamental rights makes provision, mention that state can make provision for women and children. So this is a horizontal one. So this can be made. So answer is A. Okay. Question number 65. Very easy question. DPSPs are not enforceable in any court of law. This is correct. The concept behind DPSP is correct. Welfare state. This is also correct. Okay. Similar question also asked in your PYQ. So here is answer is C. That is both the statements are correct. Now question number 66. Okay, we have to choose incorrect pairs. Okay, so incorrect pairs we have to choose. And 42nd constitutional amendment to secure opportunities for healthy development of children. This is correct. Then to provide free legal aid to poor. This is also included in 42nd constitutional amendment act, because remember 42nd constitutional amendment was wider in nature. So it included various provisions. Okay, like article 13(9) to secure opportunities for development of children. Okay, then article 39(a) to provide free legal aid to poor. Then 43(a) management of workers. Participation of workers, not management. Participation of workers in management. Okay, and another most important, that is 48(a) to protect and improve the environment. So remember this is very crucial. So how many pairs are and third 97th amendment, yes, regarding cooperatives. So how many pairs are incorrectly matched? So only one, that is second one. Then question number 67, again on fundamental rights. Okay, you might feel that why so many questions are there on fundamental rights. This is for revision purpose. Okay, by solving this question again and again, things will be fit in your subconscious mind. Okay, fundamental rights, they are enforceable by courts. Obviously, when state do not respond, when state violates them, so court can enforce them. Correct. And second, only parliament can make a law to empower any court to issue writ. This is also correct, because we have already discussed in previous question. Okay, so by the way, remember this, right now only Supreme Court, okay, only Supreme Court and High Court have power to issue writs. Article 32 for Supreme Court and Article 226 High Court. Okay, but remember, Supreme Court can issue writs only for fundamental rights, and High Court can issue writs for both fundamental rights plus legal rights. Okay, so writs, High Court writs are wider in nature. Okay, that's why we see lots of pending cases in Indian High Courts. Okay, so this is extremely important. Okay, so right now only Supreme Court and High Court, And if we want to empower, say, district code issue rates, then how we can empower it? By passing suitable legislation in parliament, only parliament, okay, not in state legislature. Then fundamental rights are not justiciable in nature, so it is incorrect, because they are justiciable in nature. So only two statements are correct. What is it mean justiciable means? You can approach court and ask for enforcement of those fundamental rights. Okay, now question number 68. It's a very simple question. Okay, we borrowed certain provisions from other constitutions. So on that the question is based on. British Constitution, parliamentary form of government, absolutely correct. Canadian Constitution, residual power, yes, because Canada is also strong centric. Canada is also like us with strong centric tendency. Australian Constitution, concurrent list, yes. In South Africa, procedure for amendment. This is also correct. Okay, in your explanation book of this test, some other borrowed provisions are also given. So go through them. So answer is D. Question number 69. Okay, reasons are there. We have to identify which are the correct reasons for the creation of union territories. The prevailing internal security situation is fueled by cross-border terrorism. Reasons. Okay, the prevailing internal security situation is fueled by cross-border terrorism. So to counter this, okay, statement is incorrect. To counter this, so this is correct. Okay, because earlier whatever states we are seeing now, some states were union territories. Okay, for example, some northeastern states like Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, etc. To observe and secure the culture of a region distinctive from surrounding states. This is also correct. Example is Andaman and Nicobar. Fulfill special needs and benefits. This is also correct. This is also Andaman Nicobar is example of this. So answer is 1, 2 and 3. Now question number 70. Again on financial emergency. Okay, so both two choice statements are given. So first one is it can issue direction to reduce salaries and allowances of person. This is correct. And second, it can modify constitutional distribution of revenues between center and state. So read this carefully. Okay, such thing happen, but not during financial emergency, but during national emergency. Okay, so don't get confused. So due to this, second statement is wrong. So our answer is A. That is only 1. Question number 71. With reference to revocation of national emergency, the president must revoke proclamation of emergency if Lok Sabha passes resolution. Correct. President at any time can revoke proclamation of emergency without parliamentary approval. Yes, this is also correct. Based upon recommendation of cabinet. So both correct. Okay, then 72, a description of case is given here. So in this constitutional judgment, Supreme Court balanced fundamental rights and directive principles. So this description is regarding Minerva Mills case. Okay, so we cannot discuss each and every case, otherwise the explanation video length will get longer. So in Minerva Mills case, what happened? Once again, the directive principles, not directive principles, once again fundamental rights were given preference over DPSPs. But at the same time, code also accepted the preference given to Article 39 B and C, okay, over Article 14 and 19. Okay, so go through this from your explanation and to Lakshmikant. So answer is here Minerva Mills case 1980. Then again fundamental rights regarding armed forces. Okay, not ordinary citizen but armed forces. Okay, this is important because you might be seeing lots of news regarding the issues with local public and armed forces in northeastern states and in Jammu Kashmir. So that's why we need to study this aspect. The constitution provides for restriction of fundamental rights for armed forces but not abrogation. No, constitution also provide abrogation also to maintain discipline and to make them able to discharge their duties properly. Okay, then 74 second question, second statement, the forces include military, paramilitary, state police. Okay, this is correct. Then third statement, the power of restricting the fundamental rights of armed forces is given to parliament and state legislature. No, this is not correct. Only to parliament. Okay, not state legislature. So answer is 2 only. That is B. Question number 74. Important question from your conceptual understanding. 74. Parliamentary government. Okay. In one of the previous questions also we discussed this parliamentary form government. Let's revise it again. Okay, there is strict separation of power. Is it? No. There is no strict separation because a minister in India can also be, not can also be, is must be member of legislative. If he isn't or if she is not, then she has to become within 6 months. It is based on principle of collective responsibility. This is correct. Okay, the president has the power to dissolve lower house of the parliament. Yes, this is correct. Based upon recommendation of prime minister. This is important. Then all the powers of executive are concentrated in the hands of prime minister. See, this is a extreme statement. Yes, prime minister has significant power, but we cannot say all the power is in the hand of prime minister because president also has certain power. Okay, regarding you can say pocket veto, asking to reconsider the decisions of council of ministers. Okay, president has significant power in hung assembly when no one has absolute majority. Okay, then at that time president has significant power. So only 2 is the correct answer. 2 statements are correct. In 75th, historical background. Okay, Indian Council Act 1892 made a limited provision, indirect provision for the use of election. Yes, this is correct. Government of India Act 1909 for the first time introduced bicameralism. No, this is Government of India Act 1919, not 1909. And third statement, Government of India Act 1919 provided for association of Indians with Executive Council of Viceroy and Governors. Is it correct? No. This is through Morley Minto Act 1909. Then fourth one, Government of India Act 1919 granted franchise to a limited number of people based on property, tax and education. This is absolutely correct. So what is only 2 statements are correct. Okay, so carefully study these acts because UPSC every year asks 1 or 2 questions based on various legislations. 76 Article 13. Okay, it declares that all laws inconsistent with any of the fundamental rights shall be void. Correct one. It also includes pre-constitutional law. Correct. Non-legislative sources of law also considered law under Article 30. Also correct because example is customs. So these are considered as a law under Article 13. So answer is all these statements are correct. Custom, tradition, they are also considered law. Okay. Sorry, question number 77. Article 17. It abolishes untouchability and forbids its practice in any form. Obviously, it is correct. Then second, it defines. This is incorrect. Constitution doesn't define. Okay, if Constitution defines untouchability, then it will increase administrative complexity. Third, Constitution prescribes punishment. No, Constitution doesn't prescribe punishment. Okay. Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955. Okay, enacted by Parliament, prescribe the punishment. So our answer is C. No, sorry, not C. 1 and 3. Only 1. Okay, third is incorrect, second is incorrect. So only 1. So A is the correct answer. Question number 78. Okay, regarding fundamental duties. Okay, they serve as a warning against anti-national and anti-social activities. Is obviously correct because some fundamental duties include respect to the national ideals, okay, national symbols. They are justiciable in the courts when no, not justiciable. They promote sense of discipline and commitment among citizens. This is also correct. So answer is C. It is 1 and 3. Now second last question on DPS speech. Okay, easy question. Which of the following are provision? Prevention of concentration of means of production. Yeah, this is correct because this is nothing but Article 39C. Then establishment of cottage industries in rural areas. This is also correct. Article 43. Providing a living wage to all workers and securing their participation in the management. This is also correct. Okay, so this is 43B. And promotion of voluntary formation of cooperative society. This is also correct. So answer is D. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. And last question. Which of the following parts of the Constitution ensures gender equality? Okay. So first one, fourth schedule. So fourth schedule is regarding distribution of seats in Rajya Sabha. This is not. Fundamental rights, yes. Directive principle, yes. Fundamental duties, yes. Okay, if you go through their provision, you can certainly find like Article 14, there is a right to equality. Then DPSP also there is provision, and similarly fundamental duties. So answer is D. No, sorry, not D. 1 is wrong. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, this is the answer. So in this way, we have completely discussed the polity paper. Now remaining 20 questions also we will discuss. Okay, so let's discuss current affair questions. Question number 81 regarding 106 Constitutional Amendment Act. It's nothing but Women's Reservation Bill. Okay, President gives assent to Women's Reservation Bill. Important historical achievement. So first one is reservation seats in Lok Sabha, correct. Extending seats in State Legislative Assembly of each state, correct. State Act shall expire after 15 years. This is also correct. Okay, this is like reservation to SCs and STs. Okay, this reservation get expire after every 10 years, but we extend this through constitutional amendment. So its answer is D. Then second question regarding parliamentary privileges. Okay, so this is the inspiration behind the question. Okay, notices have been sent to Rajya Sabha MP by a privileges committee. So which are the following are parliamentary privileges? Allow strangers during proceeding? Yes. Immunity from arrest? Yes. The exemption from jury service means to give evidence in court during session. Freedom of press to report true reports? Yes. And fifth one also is all of the above are parliamentary privileges. See, I'm not discussing this in detail because this is related to a static part and you can read it in Lakshmikant. 83rd number question regarding Press and Registration Act. Okay, this was provisions came into force on 1st September. See, this is deliberately asked. This question is deliberately asked because it is not possible to read such minute details of some random act. But such questions are to be left. Okay, but for time being now, let's discuss it. See, both statements are correct because certain these are clear provisions of the act, nothing to explain much. So you have to choose incorrect option. So neither one nor two. Then question number 84 is regarding articles. Okay, on rights of minority. Okay, so why? Because you know Aligarh Muslim University case. Okay, status of Aligarh Muslim University, whether it is a minority institution or not, that is in being news. So that's why I have asked this question. So clearly, let's discuss it. Article 29. Okay, so what is Article 29? All minorities shall have right to establish and administer education. So this is Article 30. Okay, and Article 29, any section of citizens residing any part have right to protect their identity. And remember that minority is not only religious minority, but it can also be linguistic minority. And Article 345, so legislature can make, this is correct. So what can be answer? 3C 2A 3C 2A. So D is the correct answer. Okay, question number 85, simple, regarding digital public infrastructure. So which of them are digital public infrastructure? So obviously all of them are digital public infrastructure. Okay, that infrastructure which enables us to carry out digitalization. And so all of the above. This is self-explanatory and easy one to understand. Now important question regarding central bank digital currency. Okay, because there was recently news SBI introduces interoperability between digital rupee and UPI. Because what used to happen earlier, there wasn't interoperability, so there wasn't much response to digital rupee, which e-rupee. So what SBI has introduced? Interoperability. So we can exchange e-rupee on we can carry out e-rupee transaction through UPI also. Okay, so clearly second statement, presently there is no interoperability between CBDC and UPI. This is incorrect. Okay, CBDC has backing of central bank. This is correct statement. And third one, Bitcoin, Ethereum are some of the examples of CBDC. No, these are not CBDCs but cryptocurrencies. Okay, this is important advancement. Okay, in 2020 question on blockchain has been asked. So UPSC frequently asks such question. So how many statements are correct? 2 statements are correct. Okay, sorry, not two, only one. Now 87, another important scheme, PM Vishwakarma scheme. So we are given statements and we have to choose the correct one. It is a centrally sponsored scheme to support artisans and craftsmen. This is partially correct because it is not centrally sponsored but central sector scheme. It is applicable only to rural area. No, also urban area. Okay, now just think. Okay, how can it be applicable to only rural area? Okay, because craftsmen are also there in urban area, so that's why this statement is wrong. So our answer is D. Okay, apart from them there are various features of this scheme like skill upgradation, credit support. Go through the solution. Okay, then question number 88. Okay, so again, important announcement, India, Middle East, Europe mega economic corridor. Okay, such corridor is there, and see here all of the given countries mentioned here, that is India, Saudi Arabia, France, Germany and USA, all are the parts of it. So D is the correct answer. Okay, read more about it through explanation. Okay, now stone ghost. So what is stone ghost? So you might remember that there is recent controversy between India and Canada. Okay, Canada accuses that India has killed a separatist leader on their soil. Okay, so a stone ghost is a secret database of intelligence sharing. It is between Five Eyes Alliance. Who are this? Who are these countries? USA, UK, Canada, Australia and New Zealand. Okay, very important. Remember this. So you might remember that 2 years ago, New Zealand cricket team has toured Pakistan and they returned without playing a single match. So they had received then intelligence from this stone ghost. It is Five Eye Alliance regarding the threat. So A is the correct answer. In 90, recently India became 13th country in the world to issue internationally accepted OIML certificate. What is the significance of this certificate? Okay, so this certificate provide legal recognition for sale of weights and measures in global market. So simple, straightforward. B is the correct answer. And what is this OIML? This is OIML. It's an intergovernmental organization. Intergovernment organization. Okay, established in 1955 and India became member in 1956. Okay, and some other members are also there. Then famous theme of UPSC, various reports. So here Indian aging report. So this was published by United Nations Population Fund. Simple, straightforward question. Again, a basic question on national education policy. So many features are there, national education policy. Okay, so we have covered 3 of them. See, all of the statements are covered because it allows students to enter and exit program. Okay, at a various stage, and according to that various stage, you get certificate. So diploma, degree, intermediary, and multilingual approach. Yes, and multiple entry exit system. This is also correct. So D is the correct answer. Then air quality index. Okay, so this air quality index is by University of Chicago. Air quality life index is how many years of life we lost due to toxic air. This report measures this thing, but from prelim perspective, what is important? Who publish it? So University of Chicago. Then 9 days line, sometimes mentioned in news. Okay, very simple and straightforward question. This is regarding South China Sea. So there is so much dispute in South China Sea because this 9 dash line. Okay, as per China's claim, this much area belongs in their exclusive economic zone, but you can see this overlaps with exclusive economic zones of various countries like Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, okay, even Taiwan. And this region is significant because of minerals trade route. Okay, so remember this South China Sea, and this is also known as 11 dash line earlier. So this is A is the correct answer. Now 95th question regarding ecocide. So remember this term was coined in 1970, okay, by a biologist. So this linked environment destruction with genocide. Okay, recently Mexico is considering to legally recognize ecocides, so which can be considered as ecocide. So obviously illegal sand mining, forest destruction during war, releasing untreated sewage, all this can harm the life. Okay, so all of them can be considered as ecocides, so all of them are option. Okay, now important UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Recently, Shanti Niketan. With whom you relate Shanti Niketan? So Guru Dev, Rabindranath Tagore. So this has been placed in World Heritage list. So it is important for us to know important World Heritage sites. So among this, no Dholavira was added in 2021. Okay, Shantiniketan just and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj terminus also World Heritage site, but Red Fort is not. So only 3. Okay, in your explanation sheet, we have provided a map with World Heritage sites. So carefully study it. Okay, G33. Okay, or Friends of Special Product. G33 or Friends of Special Product. So this is what? So this is nothing but Coalition of Developing Countries at WTO. Okay, we know Agreement on Agriculture. So this Agreement of Agriculture is biased towards developed countries. So developing countries have concerns in their mind that this agreement favors developed countries. So they have come together and fighting on this agreement on agriculture on subsidies part. Okay, on World Trade Organization. Various countries like India, China fight together. Okay, so answer is C. 98, India, that is Bharat. So why this question asked? Because you know in recently held G20 summit in September to unveil Bharat Mandapam. So controversy emerged that what is the name of country. Okay, so both we can use interchangeably, both India as well as Bharat, and this is mentioned in Article 1. Okay, India, that is Bharat. So remember this. Question number 99. How many of the above countries are part of International Criminal Court? Okay, so how many? See, not India, not Russia, not China. Only Brazil is a part of International Criminal Court. Okay, so remember, India and Russia, India and China are not members. Okay, see, ICC has issued summon to President Vladimir Putin. Question number 100. Global Biofuel Alliance. Okay, this was spearheaded by India. This is correct. And European Union was added as a 21st member. Incorrect, because European Union was there from earlier time. This is African Union. Okay, so answer is only one. This is discussion regarding test number 3.